This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Bumblebee movie concept art Decepticon Rumble figure. In ye olden days, Rumble was part of Soundwave's cassette band of mini Transformers. And although he did not actually show up in the movie itself, they did have concept art for him because the director, I think it was, had said that he wanted to put a bunch of the cassettes in there, but the studio only allowed him to use one, and that was like grudgingly, so they ended up using Ravage. Also to note, this is a blue version of Rumble because for god awful reasons I don't understand, people can't decide if it was Rumble who was blue or Frenzy who was blue, and vice versa with the red. But to me, Rumble was red, and it was easy to remember because Rumble red, and then Frenzy was blue. But that's why, for whatever reason, too, for the Studio Series cassettes, for the '86 line too, they have Rumble blue and Frenzy red as the figures. I just baffles the mind. On the back of the box, we just get kind of a product shot here. And let's be perfectly honest, these cassettes for the live action series transform into basically a paperweight. But let's go ahead and open it up. He does actually come with a couple of guns, and they're both different. Straps all over the freaking place. So anyway, you know, the head sculpt actually looks pretty close to the actual ones that came with the core class size cassettes. I wonder if it's the same head. On the back, I don't, sorry. On the back, it looks like he's got the little ports for the shells for the 12 Grayskull figures. I realize that that's actually, to put the guns, which I don't know. That looks kind of stupid. Let's see if putting them down looks better. The thing is, with the original cassette humanoid figures, their guns had the little wings on them too, and they looked kind of cool on his back. Where this is just no style whatsoever. And also, I'm just going to take a guess here. But they're made to fit together into more of a rifle-ish kind of looking thing. Which, in my general opinion, is still pretty freaking lame. But that's the one. And this looks like it's designed to both go in the core class hand and a standard hand. And then that's the other one. Just, I mean, it's not really all that exciting, Better question is, where's he even supposed to hold it in robot mode? Because, like, they gave him the pile drivers that we used to see in the cartoon. But there's no spot that I can see where the hand actually would hold the guns. So is this just supposed to be, an extra gun for Soundwave to hold? Anyway, Let's set that aside because it seems to be 100% useless. Articulation wise, the head does appear to be on a ball joint, so we can spin it. We can get a full 360 out of it. We can rock it back and forth. You can look up. You can look down-ish, except for the collar there kind of interferes with really getting a good down look. I'm guessing because of the transformation, we can move his shoulder all the way up, where he can pound himself in the head with his shoulder thingy. We have what could be considered an elbow, but there's like no biceps cut here, so you can't actually turn it forward. So all he can really do is spin this around and point it forward. And I'm not sure, there is some sort of design on the end of his hand. I think it's a Decepticon logo. That's just kind of dumb. Same with the other hand. And it is really hard to see. He does have a waist crunch. A little bit forward. A whole lot back. We can kick forward almost to a straight 90 degrees that way. And a little more than 90 in the back, giving him like what, a 190 in the ability to spin his leg. He does have a knee joint that does a better than 90. He can kick out and over. And technically he can do the splits. He's got a rocker or a hinge at the foot, so I guess you can kind of pose him. For some reason, I'm getting the Charlie Brown kicking the football vibes here. Transformation wise, I haven't done this yet, but I am going to try to take random guesses. So let's see. This seems to be the way the arms go. So we started out like so with his useless arm. Rotated it around so that the fist is pointing forward so you can see the upside down Decepticon logo. Shifted up over his shoulder like that. Bent hinge number 1 all the way that way. There is nothing that clicks into place there. But when we take the second shoulder, or the second hinge, that should be like an elbow if you could actually turn it. It does feel like it actually does hold into place there. So, since we know we're turning this guy into a useless box, I would say we will collapse the feet on itself, like that. They do fit into place there. Rotate the waist down, like that. We'll move the feet back this way. And it looks like this part here, these little hollow spaces in the back of the feet should it looks like they're supposed to like grip onto the actual like elbow-ish area. So this is ultimately the box we are creating from him. And unlike Ravage, who we had a spot to plug his guns into in box mode, even if it wouldn't fit inside Soundwave's chest, we don't seem to have this option. This is like the most useless thing ever. But luckily, we have Soundwave here. Ravage, eject. I hate the Soundwave, by the way. If I hadn't got this one on clearance, I wouldn't have bought it at all. Because you have to lift the back to pop it out. And now we can fit Rumble in there. And then again, push the button, open it up, open the back up so you can push it out. They should have designed something on this figure that would have allowed you to press a button to push it out without having to take the entire back off. And now that we've gone through the figure without actually doing the instructions, let's take a look at the instructions to see what the point of that gun is. So once again, we just see the gun, in the instructions here, we just see that the gun is attached to his back. We go through and we see the transformation, which I was able to figure out without anything. Okay, so it looks like the guns are do work as part of the leg transformation on this dude. All right, so let's go back and try to do that. So it looks like we take the first gun here and plug it into this little slot there. And we plug it in so it looks like he's getting ready to shoot his crotch, I believe. See, now, let's try the other side. All right, it plugs into the other side better. Then we got the other gun part, and we got this little slide here and this little tab there. We'll put them like that. Now, look, oh my god. I hate this thing already. Alright, looks like we need to point that outward. Well, the thing is, alright, so now if I've got this correct, it looks like it's just going to hit each other. Hold on. Let's try this. Okay. The instructions are absolutely horrific on this. This is the way the guns are supposed to point. Alright? So you get them in there like that. Then you can close the legs together. And now you have his useless weapon in his cube mode. Which we can offend. We can again fit in the torso there. What I would like to point out throughout this entire thing, however, on the instructions, there is not one spot where it shows him holding the guns aside from having them on his back. So it is a pointless weapon for him. So we take him apart, put the gun together, and Soundwave can hold it. And I'm not going to lie, that looks even stupider than the way it's supposed to look, you know? I guess at least with Rumble. Ravage's weapon, this thing, it's designed to fit on the cannon, so it makes it look like the G1 cannon on his shoulder. But this thing, this gun in his hand, it just looks stupid and cheap. Let's go ahead and throw him back into robot mode real quick. I will say this, though. I do kind of appreciate, when I can take a look at a transformer and figure out the transformation without using the instructions. Would it have been too much to ask, though, for Hasbro to have put in, a hole in this to where we could actually put the gun? Because otherwise, he's got no hands, okay? He's got, like, no hands in robot mode. He's just got the little pile driver, which, sure, we can go ahead and set him something like this and have him do the pile driver thing, but that still looks kind of, dumb. But there's not much else you can do with him. Other than that, you basically pose him, suppose you could, like, have him coming out somehow. Maybe. Like, I hate to say it, but overall, the way they handled the cassettes and Soundwave in the movie for Bumblebee, they just look terrible. And I'm not going to transform Soundwave. I don't even remember how to transform him because let's be honest, I think it's pretty widely agreed with most people that the movie Soundwave's transformation into a Cybertronian hovercraft is quite possibly one of the stupidest things ever. It just looks awful. It's like, we have full range to come up with whatever kind of alternate mode we want. Let's make him into a paperweight. Because that's all they did with these guys. All of them. They are just paperweights. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love.